Google added a photo to video generation tool to Google Photos, meaning you can now relive memories that never actually really happened.
I think Riley's point on this was peak, which is kind of the only reason that I'm even talking about this, was he's basically like, can we not normalize deep faking all of our friends and family?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, this is a terrible idea. Atrociously bad. Hey, let's steal art styles. There's so many people doing like Studio Ghibli things. That like actually bothers me because of the man, why do I always forget his name? Miyazaki, his stance on AI is like, no. Not at all. And then everybody's like, oh, I'm going to Studio Ghibli my photo. Like, bro, if you appreciate the art there, you should not do that. Like,
Yeah, we're headed into very challenging times. We had our, what did we call it? Something conference or something? Or no, I don't remember what it was called. I had a really good meeting with Creator Warehouse at the beginning of this week.
Product conference?
Maybe it was last week. Whatever. It was at some point. I was chatting with the Creator Warehouse people, and we were kind of coming up with what are our kind of our guiding stars for design for our portfolio for the next year, and with the fashion team in particular. And one of the things that they had come up with that I thought was pretty cool was year 3000. So it's like kind of futuristic feeling materials,
yeah, sick,
and kind of like cyberpunky design. And they had sort of this list of words that was like year 3000. I was like, look, one of the things that's missing, the one bit of feedback I can give on this is that it's missing AI. And immediately, hackles raised, teeth bared, and I get it. And I was like, okay, hold on. let's bring the temperature down a little bit here. When I say that, I'm not saying let's use generative AI to create graphic designs. I am saying that if our theme is AI, or if our theme is year 3000, if our theme is this like futuristic kind of cyberpunk inspired thing, we can't like ignore it. Our job is like recognizing trends and engaging with them. You don't mean
doing the work with that. You mean considering that would be
what I mean is
in the year 3000.
Consider that this is a trend that does exist, and figuring out how our voice contributes to that.
I can understand why that initially got reacted to very negatively.
Oh yeah. And
what a statement.
And if our voice is one of subversion, for instance, that's valid. Let's have that conversation. We teased the Jensen jacket, which was partially inspired by an AI prompt. Of course, it needed hours of work from probably a dozen people overall, if you break down the entire chain,
to make it like actually wearable,
to turn it into something that would actually be wearable by a human. And it's still stupid. Yes. Intentionally, we left some of the dumb AI stuff.
Thing.
It has 2 front zippers because it was AI generated, and they don't know how many zippers humans need. But it was so it's very much human created, but it's a way for us. And so I used something we had done as an example to kind of like kind of settle things down and go, okay, like that's an example of what I'm talking about. We are part of the AI conversation, but the actual work that was done here was done by humans, by our warehouse of creators, if you will. And so we need to figure out, what does our voice look like? And if this is part of our theme and part of our design guideline, we can't not have it in there. We just have to figure out what it is that we have to say. And so I think we're good now.
Backpedal the hell out of there.
But it was really interesting because I think that I sit in a really weird position where I am a creative professional as well. Not in terms of, necessarily graphic design like some of those folks, or fashion design like some of those folks, but my creative industry is the written word, which is also under siege from generative AI, which was unfairly trained on my work without compensation. I mean, I think we have demonstrated pretty clearly that literally my very likeness has been stolen in the creation of these AI agents. And yet, as a technophile, and I'd say as a technophile, obviously I'm very intrigued by it.
It is extremely intriguing.
As a kind of I don't know what the right word is for it, so I'm just going to kind of describe it. But as the kind of person who treats Pandora's box being open as the state that it is now, I have sort of a very accepting viewpoint once horses are bolted from barns and once milk is spilt on the floor. From my perspective, what's that prayer? Wisdom to tell the difference. The Serenity Prayer. Yep, this is the one. This is basically as close as I can get to my sort of philosophy. Give me the grace to accept with serenity the things that cannot be changed, the courage to change things which should be changed, and the wisdom to distinguish the one from the other. So with that in mind, I cannot change that this is now. It's not just now. This is now. This is the future. This is happening. There's literally nothing that I could do. I could even go as far as to convince the entire Western world, literally everyone who even speaks my language. I could convince all of them that we should just take all the AI that we've created so far, lock it in a box, and hurl it into the depths of the ocean, and it still wouldn't stop. All of the art,
as it's gurgling down, it's like, you're such a beautiful ocean.
Yeah.
You're such a massive
It wouldn't
ocean.
stop all the art, written word, and human creation that has been harvested to create these entities, and that would be utilized by some other actor. So it's done. Cat's out of the bag. So it's very hard for me to reconcile the fact that everything that I do and am is being stolen, and for the express purpose of replacing me. And also, well, that's what's happened. Now what?
Yeah.
And also being very interested in it. It's
tough. People often think that I'm just like super, super positive about AI. And I don't think I've done a good job of explaining my stance because of that, but like, no, it's just incredibly interesting. It's extremely interesting, and pretend that it isn't is nuts.
It's cool tech.
It is cool tech.
Yep.
Doesn't mean it's like I did a panel at Open Source, and there was a question pretty early on in the panel. Oh, was this at the panel, or was this just a conversation I had with somebody? I don't remember. Maybe it was on this show. I don't remember. I don't remember the context, but someone was like, "Do you think the world would be better off if like this whole large language model AI thing never happened, and like would never happen?" And I was like, "Yeah, probably."
Probably.
People were surprised by that.
Dude, no doubt.
Well, I'm doing this thing, but like, yeah.
I don't even think you have to hedge that one. I don't think that's a question.
I just did by default. So like, I kind of need people to understand that part. That doesn't mean it's not interesting. It's here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna know about it,
and we have to know about it.
Yeah. And I use it often because I want to be in that space. One thing, we don't have a company-wide policy for this yet, but when people on my teams ask me about it, I encourage them to try it and experiment with it. I have never and will not require the usage of it. And I encourage them to try and experiment with it, but then spend much more than that amount of time talking about how you can use it wrong and how you shouldn't do that. I also push that you, as always, are responsible for your output. This is how it has always been.
Yep.
It's that old IBM quote, a computer cannot be held responsible, therefore computers never make management decisions.
Yep.
Essentially that. I might have worded it slightly wrong.
I think
but
you had the
that.
inverse, but classic, classic Luke.
Yep. So it's like you have to be responsible for your output. You have to own you have to own your output. So honestly, the easy way to deal with that is don't use its output. You can use it as a sounding board. You can use it as a reviewer of your work. You can use it as those types of things, but don't use its output. And if you're going to use its output, understand that you're like taking a risk.
Yeah.
And I would not recommend it. And that's where my byline has generally been.
Unique Username has a good point, saying this is never going to replace you or almost anyone. That's just the BS they tell investors. But
it's already happening. Hold
on for a second here, because I think that you're taking that statement a little bit too literally, if that makes sense. I don't think that ChatGPT is going to have a product anytime, or OpenAI, excuse me. I don't think OpenAI or Google or anyone is going to have a product anytime soon where you just say, hey, I want you to generate a review for me of the new Pixel 11 in the style of Linus Tech Tips with his full likeness and the kind of B-roll he would do and the kind of testing he would do.
He's not even close, to be honest.
I don't think that's coming literally ever. I think there'd be, finally maybe some legal repercussions around that, for one thing. And for another thing, I don't think that anyone would necessarily even demand that. But when I say replace, I don't mean literally. I mean that there is a finite amount of attention that people have to grant to something other than the essentials. We have to sleep, we have to eat, we have to work, we have to poop. There's a finite
you
amount
to Microsoft.
Sorry?
Everybody has to poop, and you can sell it to Microsoft.
Yes, we have to feed Microsoft poop or whatever. The point is that there's a finite amount of time left. And what these products will attempt to replace is your attention during that time. Attention that could have been spent interacting with a real human.
What if there's 50,000 Linuses?
Consuming real human artwork, or listening to real humans sing, or whatever. Every second that is spent listening to AI music is time that was not spent giving the meager royalties for that stream to a human artist. And that is where I think a lot of the hackle raising that happened with the CW team came from, is that literally every moment that you are reading an AI generated novel, you are not consuming content from a real human who actually that's what they do. That's either it's their craft, which they would love to be appreciated. Maybe they don't do it for money, or it's their profession and they rely on it in order to, do all the other things like eating and pooping. So when I say replace me, I don't mean literally, but what I do mean,
erode me. What
I do mean is create a product that does compete with me. And so that might look like a pseudo influencer. I mean, there's lots of those that focuses on tech. And I think that, from my point of view, I would love to, even probably not that long ago, I might have said that people will demand better than that. Because something that's trained on just readily available materials on the internet couldn't possibly provide the depth of information about products or the nuance that someone who's, got a testing lab or, a team of writers and editors to sort of bring these stories to life about, technology and tech products. People would demand better than that. And so there's no way that it could compete. But I think the more time that I spend seeing how low people's standards are once they find something that they like for just that, but more of it, the more concerned I am that actually people won't demand better. They will just prefer to have that thing that they like, but more of it. I mean, look no further than just like garbage sequels. This is something that has existed since the dawn of mass media, at the very least. And now we've found a way to just input the original into a computer and have it infinitely generate more. So if you just say, yeah, I like LTT, then it'll find some like e-girl avatar to just explain friggin', I don't know, IPv6 to you, and it'll just like crap this stuff out. And every minute you spend watching that is a minute that you don't spend watching LTT or Short Circuit or Marquez or Jerry Rig Everything or like real humans who are actually creating tech content. So that's what I mean when I say competition. Good comment though. Hopefully you're not a chatbot.
Yeah, I mean my comment on like it's already happening, I didn't necessarily mean Linus in particular. I mean there are examples of mostly scantily clad women that are actually AI imagery things on Instagram and other places. No, I do not partake, never have. But I have also heard tell that they are invading OnlyFans.
Really?
Yeah. So there are like Instagram influencers that have OnlyFans accounts that aren't real. It's very interesting.
So they're just generating fake boobs, and they don't even put in the work.
Sometimes clothed, sometimes not.
They don't even put in the work to make an incision.
Yeah. There you go.
Dude, that's wild. So that means that entire model was trained on porn. Or not the entire, but like at least
so
largely.
Kitty in chat said, so easy to avoid this, just have fetishes that AI isn't allowed to generate. Literally not a thing.
That's not a thing.
Because you can host AI locally and give it your own rules.
Yeah.
Hamnetic said, it's only fair. Fake OnlyFans accounts that are followed by real people using AI generated real ID.
Do you remember that?
It's all just junk. It's all just junk. We're just exchanging junk for junk. Wild.
Literally and figuratively, yes.
Yeah.
Do you remember that thing you sent me called situational awareness?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're just working through that right now.
Yeah.
It's me saying it's not going to get better. Remember how it was boring to talk about AI for a little while?
Yep.
Yeah.
Can I find that again? Situational awareness?
Situational-awareness.ai.
The decade ahead. I think this was it.
That's right.
Yeah, this is it.
This
was a cool paper.
a great paper.
I think Wendell sent me this.
That's right. Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Yeah,
I have this saved in my bookmarks.
This. And just...
Seems like a cool thing. Frankly, I'd rather not know at this point.
You do not want to know.
Yeah, it's rough.
It is best if you think about something else and dissociate, because coming to work every day becomes very difficult.
I'm
kind of excited.
Thanks, Tim,
for it.
I'm concerned, and I'm not that concerned. It's people saying share the link. It is extremely Googleable. Okay, fine.
I can do it if you want.
I got it.
Okay,
I'm already on it.
KG4WWN says, Linus, You've stated you've never filed a lawsuit or sued anyone, and you don't intend to. Does that mean that AI Linus porn is probably safe to distribute?
Oh, snap. Oh, snap. They might have you now.
I have lines.
Long ones?
Local Linus model.
It won't be a large model, I'll tell you that much.
It could be.
Yeah, I mean,
Finally!
It could be whatever.
sky's the limit, baby.
Finally, regular.
Yeah. Aw.
Oh, man.
No, you're not Trump.
I was gonna say something. I don't remember what it was. Oh yeah. There's like, I don't know. I'm seeing a interesting shift right now in like human verified things. There's always been this concept of like people don't really care about spaceflight unless a human's on it or chopsticks catch it. That's been basically it.
Right.
If a human isn't on the ship, very
the
few
monkey
people
was
watch.
pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Didn't
though.
people cry about the Mars robot?
Yeah, but it's because we like personified it. Like hardcore. And it was before everything was personified because it was all AI. There's been this push for human verified products. I literally think you're going to end up receiving your product in the mail with like, you know how we used to have the certificate of authentication? Doesn't mean anything.
Authenticity, but yeah, sure.
Sure. Yeah. It's going to be like a link to a video.
Right, of someone making
And
it.
it will be someone making
Yeah.
it. And obviously, yeah, you can
So that'll be a
make
thing for like
AI make
6
the
more
video.
months.
Yeah, but it won't be 100% perfect because there are little tiny. It would have to be pretty high res video, I think. There are little tiny imperfections that are going to come up from a human making something that are going to be really hard for an AI video to perfectly replicate and then perfectly retain throughout the entire process of making a
I
thing.
mean, for now.
For the next
For now,
6 months. Yeah,
For
sure.
now.
But then maybe the arms war there will advance, and there will be some way to verify
Stark
at another
has the
level.
solution. An NFT image of the person creating it, and then you can own the creation of the object.
Tech Bro's having a field day right now. It's not a bad idea.
Maybe it's gonna have to get like really dark, really like 40K. Like every product's gonna have to include like a prick of blood.
You know, back
From
in the
everyone who
good
made
old
it.
days, people hired artists and they came to their house and painted them in their like
What happened to those
castle.
jobs?
Well, now they're a thing now. I want an oil painting. You come to my house and paint
Really?
it for me. Because that's
Then
what
you
it
would
used
know.
to be. That's
Then
what
you
it
would
used
know.
to be.
We're just going back.
We're going back to the medieval
We're
times.
just going back. It is really interesting. I've noticed this pattern.
Yeah.
A lot of this stuff is like we end up in order to verify things. We have to go back.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
There's the whole thing. Like somebody sent me a video recently of myself arguing or something. I think I was arguing with the Vsauce guy.
Oh, okay.
And it's just fake AI voices, and it sounded a lot like me. And I'm like, sick. And he was like, yeah, you might want to like send messages to your family to like use code words and stuff.
I have one with my parents now.
The best way to deal with stuff is going to be in person again, because nothing's going to be able to be verified if you're not physically there in person. So like we're
Banking somehow gets better.
going back. Yeah, right? Like, okay. I don't know.
It would actually not improve my life to have to do all of my banking in person.
What if a bank person came to you?
Ooh. See, that's my problem, though. I'm not at that level. I'm at the level where I have to go to the bank a lot, but I'm not at the level where the bank will come to me.
That's just the service that they have to offer now. This is just the feudal age. We're just going back to medieval times.
That's what all the writers and artists will do. They will just be errand runners for the bank.
Yeah, it's like DoorDash, but
That
for
sucks.
literally every
No,
creative field.
The writers and artists are going to all be really busy going to individual. It's all going to be, you know, this like economy around like Uber Eats. Now it's going to be like Uber makes.
I think
Dash.
both of you both of you need to read Mana.
Dork Dash. I love DoorDash, dude. It reminds me a lot of Geek Squad.
Yeah, it sounds like on-site tech support.
Yeah.
Yeah.
DoorDash is awesome.